How to complete the online final report and installment form. This video will review the final reporting and installment form for the NHCP LTCF Year 3 program and the documents that are due for submission to WHC no later than February 2nd, 2022. It will also note some important information and submission instructions. The final reporting form will be assigned to your project on the FT system. Awardees are to answer questions as accurately as possible and upload the correct documents where requested. As you go through the form, make sure you answer all of the required questions marked with the asterisk. The asterisk indicates that the question is required. If the document that you would like to upload is too large and surpasses the megabyte size maximum, please reduce the file size to the best of your ability and try again. Awardees must complete and submit the final reporting and installment follow-up form via the FT online system no later than February 2nd, 2022 at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Introduction. This is the introduction section. This section asks for some general information on the project. Securement and activity result hectares. This section asks questions about secured hectares, confirmation of numbers, stewardship implementation, and ecological gift. Please note that the confirmed secured hectares is set in 3 decimal places. Confirmed project hectares and secured hectares. Please make sure to answer the ecological gift question. If your response is yes, it will bring you to a section where it asks you to upload the certificate of ecological sensitivity and the certificate of fair market value. Species at risk. This section asks questions on species protected by your project. You will find links to additional information on the COSWIC and the SARA lists for your reference and convenience. You are asked to report on only the numbers of SAR that have been observed on the project land or lands. And please complete the species at risk table template and upload. If no SAR have been observed on the project land or lands, then please upload an empty template. Please check off the listed species that have been observed on the project land or lands, and if any. If none of the species listed have been observed on the project land or lands, please check the box Not applicable. There are optionals area where some additional comments on SAR in relation to your project may be included. The last question in this section asks for the number of hectares of SAR habitat that are being protected by your project. This question is geared towards projects that have parcels of land that are not directly connected. Advancing partnership and collaboration. This section asks questions pertaining to any partnership and collaboration occurred on the project. This section looks at Indigenous collaboration. If yes is selected, then additional relevant questions will appear. Volunteer involvement and if LTCF capacity building services have been utilized. Communication. This section asks questions about communication done on your project and communication done that reference the NHCP. It is also asked for a photo or photos of the project land, communications permissions, and a short blurb on your project that WHC may use to showcase your project. New this year is the communication activity template. This template is to be filled and uploaded under the communication section. Clarification on types of communication is listed directly in the form for your reference and convenience. Small grants requirement. This section is for small grants awardees only. These sections will ask what type of project it is, or it was, FS or CA. Depending on your answer, the relevant questions will appear in your form. This section is where the project financial information is also to be provided. The project financial report template must be used. It is an automated template designed to improve and simplify details financial calculation and will be automatically populated to your project final budget report. This template has been introduced to help ensure that no rebatable taxes are included in amounts expensed to the LTCF program. For more information on how to use this template, watch the LTCF Small Grants Project Financial Report Template How-To video. All required receipts, all receipts that totals 1,000 or more, and all those indicated as required for submission by the automated template are to be numbered, organized, and attached to the project financial report template and uploaded as one package. Small grants requirement. Continued. You will need to upload an attestation confirming the below listed elements signed and dated. You will need to upload invoice for installment 2. Here are some helpful reminders. Invoices are to be signed and dated, addressed to NCC, should indicate the project name and recognized by the LTCF program. This invoice should be for the remaining 20% of the total funds awarded. The invoice amount should match the final installment amount found on your award letter. Large grants requirement. This section is for large grants projects awardees only. This section will ask what type of project it was, FS, CAs, or combination. Depending on your answer, the relevant questions will appear in your form. This section is where the financial information for the project will need to be uploaded. In-kind match attestation and evidence will need to be uploaded if in-kind match amount have been claimed that are not donated land value. You will need to complete the financial report template and upload it. This is also where the project financial audit is to be uploaded. There are 2 upload sections available in this case. In the case the document is too big and needs to be split. Please note, sometimes at the front of an audit, there is some explanation of what date ranges were verified by the auditor in terms of expenses incurred. In this case, for your audit, please ensure that the correct program name is used, NHCP LTCF, not OQO, and that the correct eligible date for the current program year and match timelines are also used. In follow-up to the project financial audit, you will also be asked to upload the invoice for the audit. The invoice is to be made to WHC, as WHC will pay it directly upon approval. You will also need to upload your invoice for installment 2. You are asked here are some helpful reminders. Invoices are to be signed and dated, addressed to NCC, should indicate the project name as recognized by the LTCF program. This invoice should be for the remainder of the total awarded funds, that the invoice's amount should match the financial installment amount found on your letter. At the end of the form, there is a spot to provide any relevant update banking information to help ensure that the final installment payment is released appropriately. Project acquisition type, conservation agreement. This section is for the conservation agreement project only. In this section, you will need to upload the fully signed and date conservation agreement. You will need to upload a copy of the post-closure title report or title search showing that conservation agreement registered on your title along with the baseline documentation report. You will need to upload a copy of the full baseline documentation report that is registered on the title alongside the conservation agreement. There is also questions confirming the total numbers of hectares protected by the conservation agreement. This question is asked to ensure that only those hectares protected, conserved into the perpetuity are reported, given the details of some conservation agreement projects. The final question in this section is for any statement of adjustment. This is to be provided if one exists in relation to the project. Project acquisition fee simple. This section is for fee simple projects only. You will need to upload the approved property sign design. You will need to upload a copy of the post-close title report showing your organization as a registered owner of the project land, matching land identification, and that no financial encumbrance or liens exist on the title. The final question in this section is for any statement of adjustment. This is to be provided if one exists in relation to the project. Land acquisition combination, which is fee simple and conservation agreement. This section is for the projects that are a combination fee simple and a conservation agreement easement acquisition. This section includes all the above questions reviewed under fee simple and conservation agreement easement project acquisition type. Again, also include your baseline documentation report. Program feedback. This is the final section in the final reporting form. In this section, you will need to check the box attesting to the accuracy of the information provided in the form and complete the final sign-off. Lastly, you will be asked to complete a voluntary survey on your experience with the LTCF. And finally, we ask that you work to reference the program guidelines, available online program resources, and the information in the video to answer any of the questions you may have. We also ask that you follow the instruction provided in this video to the best of your ability. However, Should you have any questions that cannot be answered by reference the available resources, please contact Sonia Blanchard at sblanchard@whc.org.